Hello captains, this is Ketchikan and welcome to the flight show. So today we are going to be taking a 737-800 flight on Alaska Airlines from Anchorage, Alaska to Ketchikan International in Ketchikan, Alaska. As I mentioned in my previous flight video, it's a nice airport that's a really curious approach because it's like right in between in a valley. And then you have to go down a taxiway ramp that's lower, where the terminal is lower than the actual runway. So this is just me following through on that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna get it here in the cockpit. Okay, that's crazy. Why I look like that? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. We're going to be using FS Crew for our with our co-pilot. Let's run.
Let's get set up.
Alright, they're starting up there. We're starting from cold and dark, and I'm also going to use, why is the gate leaving? The gate should be coming back, but I'll get that when I say request boarding. And it should come back. On Alaska Airlines. Alright, and that is okay that it is going away. I can always bring that bad boy back. Let's see. How's it going over there? Yeah, there we go.
Roger.
And so our ground crews and everything are coming up. I do not know why that... Oh yeah, we'll be fine there. Let's just get to work because we got a lot to do. Alright. So, in the meantime... get our sounds going here. Let's get down here. Our first officer has turned on our batteries and is taking care of a lot of those good things. So we first want to go and set up our fuel and payload. I've already done all of the pre-flight planning in PFPX. In fact, I have PFPX version 2 now, so I'm excited to see how this goes. Oh yeah, what door do I need to open? Rear entry door. So let's go ahead and do that real fast. Doors... open rear door. That's over wing. We want rear entry. There we go. So they should stop bothering me about that. And the cargo doors are already open. Great. So anyway, where were we? We were getting our fuel together. Oh, you know, it's a weird thing, but they're going to want me to close and open the front door again. So let's just close it. I guess because they're thinking they didn't open it, so they're not acknowledging it. I don't know. Okay, so now it's opening.
Hello. Thank you.
And now people are starting to come in. Cool. Let's get back to work. So we want to deal with our fuel. Sounds a little too loud. Okay, so we want fuel and our pre-flight
walk around.
Okay, you go handle that. Let's see. So we're going to release 15409. So 15409, and this is minimum fuel possible. Oh my gosh, why does somebody call me when I am recording? Hold on. Okay, sorry for the brief interruption. I had to take that call. We'll probably edit this. I don't even know where I left off, but I feel pretty confident that it's putting this darn fuel in, so let's get on with it. Alright, so we're releasing 15409. I know I said that before I dashed off. 15409 in terms of our fuel. Got that. And our payload, we are set to have 134. So we'll put that in 134 pounds. You know, that's just an abbreviation. But where do I put it? I tend to forget. Zero fuel weight. There we go. That should be right. Yep, there it is. Okay, so now we got all that taken care of. We can go now to our FMC and get this done. So we are taking off from PANC, or Anchorage, Alaska. Here. Excellent. We will load our company route, so that's PANC and PAKT. PAKT 01. Oh, put it in the wrong spot. What am I thinking? Company route. Bam. And let's go ahead and do our departure. So we will be departing Anchorage on runway 15. And there will be no SID, just direct to TED. We do not have to use that. And then our, let's see, our arrival is going to be runway 11. And I believe I said I was going to be 11Y. And our transition will be AN. And that's that. And we will activate. Now let's take a look at our route. Any discontinuities? No, we are looking good. Excellent. So back here. Now to our zero fuel weight. Got that in. We'll say that we want to end with 10% reserves. Our cost index I calculated at 80. Have no idea if that's really what the Alaska Airline uses, but what the heck. And we will be cruising at 33,000 feet. And our weather at this particular moment, we have winds 3 knots out of, let's see, wind at 120.
Hi, here are some water bottles for you. The security and safety checks are complete. Are we okay to start boarding?
Yes. Okay.
Thanks. Clear to board.
Thank you. Alright, so I actually already started that, so whatever. Then, what is this again? Wind is coming at 120 degrees at 3 knots. So, 120 at 3 knots. Got that in there. Excellent. Enter. We will do a D-rated takeoff. Right here. There's our climb. Excellent. And we will take off with 5 degree flaps. 25.7% for our center of gravity, and here are our V speeds. Alright, we are good to go there.
Okay, I'm back from the walk around. Everything looks good.
Excellent. So you just let me know when you are ready for pre-flight checklist, because I have got my stuff together. So I will bring you back when it's time for the baggage is at 17%, by the way. Oh, but I can actually go ahead and set up my MPC. So that's 149 for our takeoff speed. So I'm going to dial this up to I'm just going to do 160. It's really plus 5, but I'm going to do that anyway. And we're going to just say that our first level altitude is going to be 12,000 feet. We'll assume that that's what they would have said. And okay, so we are looking good here, but I forgot, I do need to start our navs. FS Crew doesn't do that, so now that I got that going, our navs will kick in. So they will align our IRSs, so that's looking good. Good, so now we are just waiting to get this bad boy boarded. Otherwise, we are looking good. Yay. Alright. Alright, I'll bring you back when it's time. Okay, so as I have said before, FS Crew is not really designed to work with GSX, so they're not timed. So basically, GSX has gotten my boarding done. Doors have already been closed. That's cool. But our first officer is still working on his stuff. So as soon as he's done with his pre-flight procedures, we can get to our pre-flight checklists and get this puppy going. So, in interest of time, I am just going to put you on pause and be right back. Okay, so I think I'm ready to do pre-flights. Let's see here. Pre-flight checklist.
Let me finish my pre-flight procedure first.
Sure. My bad. Yeah. So anxious. Sorry. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick ahead this time step. And he should be telling me something pretty soon. So I'll bring you back. Okay, this dude is ready, so let's just get on with it. Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Navigation transfer and display switches. Normal, auto. Window heat, on. Pressurization mode selector, auto. Flight instruments,
Set. Let's see here. Set and checked. Set and checked.
parking brake.
Set.
Double check that, please. Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
Okay, I'm looking at the screen. My brakes are on. So what are you talking about? Okay, never mind. Okay, as they're doing their thing, we'll step this up. Oh yeah, we're getting ready to rock.
Welcome aboard our flight today.
Here's the load sheet for you.
Departure. Please
Thank you.
ensure that your seatbelts are fastened, tray tables are up and locked, carry-on items are stowed beneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin, leaving a clear and easy access to center aisleway. This does include any purses, backpacks, briefcases, laptop computers, nothing in your laps, and nothing hidden behind your legs. All items placed beneath the seat in front of you. Electronic devices, if you can make sure that they are in the airplane mode so you're no longer sending...
Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, it's going to be a standard pushback and start off from the gate. Taxi route will be assigned by ATC. It'll be at left seat takeoff, using rated thrust, planning a FLAPS 5 takeoff. Anti-ice will be off. In the event of a malfunction prior to V1, I will either call reject or continue. Standard low-speed reject procedures below 80 knots. Between 80 knots and V1, I will only conduct a high-speed reject in the case of an engine fire or failure, predictive wind shear warning, or if there's any condition that makes the aircraft unable or unsafe to take into the air. I will simultaneously close the thrust levers, disconnect the auto throttle, apply maximum manual braking or verify the operation of the RTO auto brake, apply maximum reverse thrust, verifying the extension of the speed brake and bring the aircraft to a complete stop and set the parking brake. We will then run the appropriate checklist and evaluate our options. If you can monitor my actions and make the standard reject takeoff calls, including any abnormalities that you observe before advising ATC. From V1, or if the call is to continue, I will continue the takeoff as per standard company procedures. We will climb to the minimum sector altitude and track clear of local terrain. We are under our maximum landing weight, so we are okay to make an immediate return. All going well, the departure routing will be via the ATC assigned SID, complying with all published speed and altitude restrictions. No noise abatement procedures required. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
None.
Departure brief complete.
Mind your leg, please. Verify takeoff speeds.
Okay. So, before start checklist to the line. Before start checklist to the line.
Before start checklist to the line. Fuel 5.4 thousand pounds. Pumps on. Passenger signs on. Windows.
Locked.
Locked. MCP.
Set 160. Oh, no it's not. Set and checked.
Takeoff speeds.
Let's see here. I know. Takeoff speeds. V1 140, VR 141, V2 149.
Checked. CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Completed. Rudder and aileron trim.
Free and 0.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Before start checklist completed to the line.
start checklist below the line. Before start checklist below the line.
Flight deck door closed and locked. Anti-collision light on. Before start checklist complete.
Okay, so we are ready to go. So let's go ahead and prepare for pushback.
Hey guys, all passengers are on board. Are we cleared to close?
Yes. Put that back on. Actually, we already closed. Yes. Okay. Thanks.
Thanks. See you out there.
That response just doesn't seem right for what she asked, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so we are asking for de-icing vehicles are on their way. Oh, we got to de-ice. Okay, so I'm going to bring you back as soon as they do that. Save some time. Okay, the de-icing trucks are here. So I thought you might want to see that. And, ooh, look, we have snow flurries. Totally cool. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give the passengers an announcement.
Confirm aircraft is ready for treatment. We begin treatment now and observe. Fluid type 1. I will call you back when ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, I really want to thank you for flying Alaska Airlines. This is your captain speaking. We're just having to take a moment to de-ice the wings. Of course, we want to have your safety. That is our ultimate and first most concern. So if you'll just be patient with us, our de-icing trucks, as you can see as you look out the window, are already out there doing their jobs. So as soon as they are done, we'll be pulling out and heading off to Ketchikan. So, did I say that right? Who cares? Nevertheless, thank you, and we appreciate your patience. Thank you for flying Alaska Airlines. Okay, so now the passengers should be, you know, kind of cool because I was so charming and everything. But nevertheless, as soon as they're done with the de-icing, we will be ready for pushback. Actually, really cool animations when you think about it. Get her done! Get her done! Alright. So, what we'll do... Oh, they're almost done. Okay, so I won't have to take a break here. But I am glad that we could be taking off in a little bit of...
De-icing and anti-icing completed. Anti-icing code is fluid type 1. I'm disconnecting. Good day.
Well, thanks so much. What was I saying? I'm you know, glad you got. I'm glad to see the animations for the snow. It's pretty cool. But okay, so we seem to have off and on flurries. That's perfectly fine. And this is real world weather from you know, active sky. So hey, it must be going on down there in Alaska. All right, so let's go ahead and get our pushback. Let's see. I guess it's not there because they're already going to do it, I guess. I forget if it's automatic after that. Prepare for pushback. Oh, there we go. Ice warning. Do you want to request? No, because we already had it. We'll be pushing back.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
Okay, so we will not be starting before the pushback, so that's fine. Here come the peoples. I hate that view.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
Okay, they're locking gear, so we're almost out of here.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes. Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
Alright, so we will not start until they get done and our brakes are set. But everything else should be looking good. Alright. You know what would be really cool is if they actually give you a first officer over here. You know, in American Truck Simulator, actually European Truck Simulator, someone came up with a mod that let a passenger be in your seat. Wouldn't it be cool if someone could come up with a mod to put a first officer sitting next to you? Preferably a really attractive woman. Yeah, I'd like that. Can somebody make that happen? That'd be great. Okay. Okay, so that shouldn't have happened, but hey, that is why you do not use Flight Simulator with detect trashes on, because you will just end up getting hit by something and it wasn't even your fault. Did you see that aircraft taking off from the runway there? That was totally cool. Yeah, when they push back, they push back. Yeah, I think we're about to come to a stop. Excellent.
Set parking brakes.
Parking brakes set. Okay. So while they're doing that, let's go ahead and turn on Flight Director. Arm the auto throttle.
Auto throttles, arm.
Oh wow, I forgot I could tell him that.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Arm auto throttle.
Auto throttles, arm.
Arm auto throttles.
Auto throttles, arm.
Oh, I see. Either I do it or nobody does it. Okay, because he turns it off. Okay, that's cool. Okay, I think he gave me the go-ahead. Start engine 2.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
I didn't say anything. Alright, he's giving me the go-ahead.
Clear to start engines.
Start engine 2.
Starting 2. Oil pressure.
Alright. And right now I'm setting up our taxi so I know the route on my electronic flight bag 2. Alright, that's done. By the way, as I mentioned earlier briefly, I am now using PFPX version 2, which has recently been released. And what is so beautiful is if you own PFPX, you just have to download and install the newer version, and it looks at your license. I didn't even have to bring it up, so you don't have to pay extra. That's totally cool. So now I have PFPX version 2. I'm using electronic flight bag version 2. Loving it. Totally cool. All right.
Starter cutout.
Start engine 1.
Starting 1.
We now request your full attention as the flight attendants demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. When the seatbelt sign illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt. Insert the flat metal clip to the buckle and pull and loosen the strap to tighten it up. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight as we may experience turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft, 2 forward, 2 aft, and 2 over each wing. Please take a moment to locate the...
One of these days I'm going to have to do one of those single-engine taxis and then start the other engine later. But not for now. We're getting out of here.
Doors can be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide, which may also be attached and used as a life raft. Oxygen and air pressures are always being monitored. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth.
Okay.
Secure the elastic band behind
Clear
your
on
head
the left.
and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you're traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first
Flaps
and then assist
5.
another person. Keep your mask on until an
Yeah, I messed that order up, but that's
advises
okay.
you to remove it. In the event of an emergency, please assume
Flaps
the
5.
bracing position. Lean
Flaps
forward
5.
with your hands on top of your head and your elbows against your thighs. Ensure your feet are flat on the floor. A life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head. Press the straps around your waist and adjust to the front. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord
Before taxi
only when leaving
checklist.
the aircraft. If you need
Before
to
taxi
refill the
checklist,
vest, blow into the
generators
mouthpiece.
on, low
Use
heat
the whistle
on,
and light to attract
anti-ice
attention.
off,
Also, your
isolation
seat bottom
valve
cushion can be
auto,
used as a flotation
engine start
device.
switches
Pull the cushion from the seat,
continuous,
slip your arms to the
recall
straps, and hug the
checked,
cushion to
auto
your
brake,
chest.
RTO, engine start
We remind
levers,
you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the laboratory is prohibited by law. You will find this and all other safety information in the card located
Set
in the
and
seat
check.
pocket in front of you.
Flight
We strongly
controls.
suggest you read it before
Check.
takeoff. If you have any
Dispatch
questions, please
clearance.
don't hesitate to ask one of our
Receive.
crew members. We wish you all an enjoyable
Completed.
flight.
Set and check.
checked. Before taxi checklist complete.
Clear on the left,
Clear right.
as though I was looking. Okay. We are on our way. I might edit the rest of this taxi out, but we'll see. For now, I might leave it in. You might find this interesting. Okay. There we go. We'll be hanging a right over here at R. Whoops. Tried to pull that throttle back and I actually put in reversers. My bad. Of course, that wouldn't happen on a real 737 because you have to pull up levers that are in front of the control throttle levers, so, you know. But all this is to say, my bad. Arm auto throttle.
Auto throttles, arm.
Hey, getting the hang of that. Now, you may notice that one of my displays is black. That's because I've exported it to an external monitor so that it's larger and I can see it better. And though you don't see it, I also, exported the flight directing screen from the other side, since you can still at least see that on this side. So all that being said, just you kind of know where that came from. Now, I'm going to have to calibrate my throttles because this thing wants to, get up and go. And I really have these things on idle right now, so...
Cabin is secure.
But I will do that another time. Right now, we're just going to make it roll. But thank goodness, if this were like the 747, you would just, overheat your brakes and you wouldn't go anywhere. I don't think they really did that with this aircraft, and I'm kind of glad because of this situation. But I'm going to bring it down to 11 knots. I mean, see how fast this thing wants to take off? It's like I really have, more throttle going on. Let me just see. Is it possible to bring these back any further? Yeah. And I guess that's the calibration, because in my throttles that I have here in my house, I pulled these all the way back. So I just don't understand, why. And see, I pushed them forward just a little bit, and now they're going up to 33. And I don't know. I just don't know. I am going to have to deal with that. Maybe it's a kill. Anyway. Well, alright. I will bring you back once we get to takeoff. Hey, I figured out the throttle issue. Had to increase the range of the throttles, and we're almost at our takeoff point, so thought I'd just bring y'all back. Okay, so we're evidently kind of late in the afternoon, or at least the overcast has caused them to turn on the runway lights while we were taxiing, which is kind of cool. But we're almost ready to go, so we'll just keep it going here. I love it when I figure stuff out. I really do. Alright, so let's see. Alright, we're going to just pretend that ATC has allowed us to clear for takeoff as soon as we get to the runway. Runway entry procedures. Nope, we're early. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Flaps 5. Flaps 5. Flap slide, green light.
Stabilizer trim.
4.92 units, 0 and 0. 4.9 units, 0 and 0.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Runway entry procedures.
Check. Ready to go.
Alright. Clear on the left.
Clear right.
Set takeoff thrust.
Check.
Takeoff.
Thrust set.
Takeoff. I guess I don't have to say that. That's okay.
80 knots.
V1. Rotate.
Go. Rotate.
V2.
Positive climb.
Gear up. Nice. Arm LNAV. Select LNAV.
LNAV.
Select VNAV.
VNAV.
Now, I may have mentioned this in some of my previous videos. I remember having a conversation with a pilot in the airport, and he's like, "Could I pick your brain? I'm a really big flight simulator enthusiast." He's like, "Sure." And I said, "So when do you actually turn on your autopilot?" And he said, "Well, a lot of guys like to turn on their autopilot as soon as, they pass their minimum altitudes. But he said, I like to fly my aircraft to 10,000 feet, get my controls all trimmed up properly, and then I turn on the autopilot." And I was like, that's cool. So in response to that conversation, I like to fly my aircraft past, transition altitude. And gives me something to do. I mean, hey, just hitting some buttons, what fun is there in that? And so I fly it up to transitions, and keeps me active, builds up my piloting skills. After takeoff checklist. Or it's still an initial climb, so never mind. Flaps up.
Speed checked. Flaps up.
Looks beautiful outside the window. Steady. Yeah, it's definitely more fun flying up to transition. You know, like I said, it gives you a chance to work on your piloting skills and gives you something to do. So, totally cool. Oh, we are out over the mountains. Nice thing is, when I have my instruments, my flight director on another screen, I can do this and still control the aircraft. So that's cool. So you were looking at Southern Alaska Orbx scenery along with Orbx Global. And FS Pilots, FS Mesh. So I got all that going on here to have some really beautiful scenery visuals. Okay, arming autopilot.
Happy to release the cabin.
Why is it out? There we go. Okay.
Okay, 1011.
Set altitude to 5,000.
Altitude to 5,000. Set.
I forgot. The same button that I have assigned to trim out my, to level my tracker software is the same button that disengages the autopilot. And I gotta figure out a button, change one of those two buttons, because that's getting annoying. I'm gonna figure it out. That's alright. So now we are in our initial climb out. I will bring you back after we get to cruising altitude. Okay, so we are now at cruising altitude. We're cruising at 33,000 feet. A little bit of, I guess, turbulence because we're kind of fluctuating in our altitude. We're not in time acceleration, so that's atmospheric conditions. But she's holding it together. Thought I'd give you a look outside, see what's going on. Oh, yeah, sorry. Back on. There we go. I mean, it's just, the haze is just absolutely beautiful. We're out over the Pacific Ocean at this particular moment. I gotta do something with that button. But nevertheless, we're out over the Pacific Ocean. We are we're on course. It's a really smooth flight so far, except for this little bit of fluctuation in our altitude. But I will bring you back when it is time for our approach. Descent and then approach. Okay, we're back. We're still at cruising altitude, but I had to share this with you. I was looking out of the window.
Checked.
And oh my gosh, that just looks beautiful. Flying over the southern part of Alaska off the coastline, I'm just, wow. That just makes it so worth it. Let's get that wing view real fast. Whoops, there we go.
Checked.
I mean, this is what you work for. Smooth frame rates and beautiful scenery. And I was just like taken aback by this. So what I've actually been thinking of doing is going ahead and ending the video and breaking this flight up into two, because we're already at 4 minutes. 40 minutes rather. So I am going to break off here, and we will begin our next video with our descent and approach. So I really want to thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy the next one that's coming up as well. And I'm just going to ask you to go ahead and like and subscribe, because, hey, the more support I get, the more content I can bring you. And I hope, you're having a wonderful holiday season. We are approaching Christmas, this is why I'm off. I'm in between semesters. Have a little bit of time to put some content up, so I'm really excited about that. But I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season, regardless of whether you are in approaching Christmas or Hanukkah, whatever it may be. Have fun and fly. So like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the virtual sky.